All right. It's my first time using StreamYard, y'all. So if I am, if it is showing up, y'all excuse me for a second, trying to get things straight. Matter of fact, give me a thumbs up on the audio vibes if the audio is on point or the visual is on point. Let me know. Let me know. Y'all know what it is, though. Now it's the vibrate, holding space in the moment. But yeah, we're gonna see. All right, yep, it's going live. Cool, cool. All right. So would I be able to? Matter of fact, are y'all typing in the chat right now? Let's see. Saying it should show up. All right, all right. THA9, what's up? Word, word. All right, all right. West Combs, what up? S Walker, more like entertainment. What's up? Cool. Well, then that's on point. Let me see something else while we're right here. All right. Entire screen or a certain window. All right. All right. Never mind. But just needed to see that. Cool, cool. What up, Militia Hair? What's up? What's up? This is coming to tap in on a little Q&A. Also, like just a little crystal insights that was coming to me. And for sure, with anything, with working with crystals or doing any type of energetic work, you know what I'm saying? Realizing it's about working on the root cause of a situation, not just the symptom, because I thought about like when I did the video about the magnesium crystals and crystals that are great for helping with anxiety. It's like these crystals with a high level of not manganese, magnesium. These crystals with a high level of magnesium is going to help with your anxiety. But if you don't get to the root cause of, of why you're even having these anxiety attacks, and you're not going to, you know, uh, you're going to keep experiencing that symptom. You know what I'm saying? It's just no different from, the, the pharmacy system, where it's like, not only it's unhealthy poisons in most cases, but also the fact that the unhealthy part, not only it's an unhealthy poison, but it's also just treating a symptom and not like, getting to the root cause of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because that's with anything, you could be like, oh, my foot hurt and I could take a painkiller for my foot. But then if I'm going eat the same unhealthy shit that caused my foot to hurt in the first place, and I'm eating unhealthy stuff because of a childhood problem. So I keep eating sugar stuff all the time whenever I gotta, I'm dealing with some inner mother issues or some inner father issues. I'm always eating something sweet, and then it caused my foot to hurt. You know what I'm saying? And the lard tab ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Again, with that as an example, you know what I'm saying? And that could either even go to healthy alternatives, aka working with crystals. It's like I could work with you know uh smoky quartz or amber to help ease pain or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know smoky quartz more so with helping like lower back pain, and amber just a great crystal for working with pain, or helping dampen the intensity of pain. But at the end of the day, it's like, what's the root cause to that pain or whatever we may be going through. But and also how the body speaks, the body language, in essence. Shout out to Dr. Jewel Pookrum. If any of y'all haven't heard of Dr. Jewel Pookrum, she definitely have like some great insight and information, on just the metaphysics, you know, and especially like with metaphysics and our psychology in essence, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but she had brought up how and again, we always realize, like everything, in the body, mythology is anatomy by law, you know what I'm saying? And anatomy is mythology by law, vice versa. But the importance of, again, like treating our inner universe and the things that's going on with us as if we're treating, as if we're taking care of a whole galaxy or universe, you know what I'm saying? Because in a certain galaxy or universe, the masculine and feminine got to be in balance, in order for, a healthy seed to be planted, planted and planted, you know what I'm saying? But in order for a healthy seed to be planted, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have that healthy, that healthy harmony between the masculine and feminine in order for the child to, grow up in a healthy, space, you know. Because I even another shout out, which is kind of close to the same thing, you know. I think of somebody bringing up. Oh, all right. Shout out to Mook. Uh, it's like we're doing our inner work or whatever, where the inside or the inner universe could be so scrambled up in essence. You know what I'm saying? It could be like where the child or the inner child can't even be safe. You know what I'm saying? In the inner, in our inner realm, and that goes into soul retrieval and soul fragment or just fragmentation in general. Where it's like a part of the inner child. You know what I'm saying? Has to kind of like hide because it's got all kind of other stuff going on in the body. So, AKA, when we are going through certain things where we're not able to tap into our inner child, or we feel like we got some type of blockage with our inner child work, it has a connection with that energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I got too much chaos going on inside, then my inner child is not having a stable environment. You know what I'm saying, to operate in. You know what I'm saying? If the masculine always fussing with the feminine or vice versa, that inner child won't have a space to, to be raised healthily. But reason why I made that reference because, you know, the joke was made, and got to give out the shout outs for the authentic jokes, when they're not mine. But, it was a joke in a video where she was like, you had to do the inner work, and doing the inner work in essence was like, helping to retrieve the inner child from child services in essence. You know what I'm saying? Like when the environment is not healthy, like the child gotta go to, child services, aka our inner child gets fragmented when the environment is, is off like that. You know what I'm saying? So that inner child has to be, you know, wherever it feels healthy or safe at, you know what I'm saying, which is in, jump into another dimension of self, you know what I'm saying, to kind of, hide out until things, till the environment gets to a space where it's, more healthy in essence. And speaking of the inner child and crystals, you know what I'm saying? Chrysoprase. Chrysoprase is a great inner child work. Any yellowish green crystals, but for sure chrysoprase. Uh, CHRYSOPRASE. It also has a high nickel content in it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a great crystal for. Oh, and that's what I bring up too. But it's a great crystal for working on the inner child. You know what I'm saying? Healing those aspects of our inner child, allowing for our inner child to, you know, be expressed, allows for us to transmute and basically in essence like love ourselves through becoming aware of certain traumas and things that we have to face in order for us to move forward. Because one thing about spiritual growth, and for one, with the if we're going when you're considering spiritual growth to the fullest, you're also considering or taking on the energy of dealing with paradox or a parody, or what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta be light, sometimes you gotta be dark, sometimes you gotta be acid, sometimes you gotta be alkaline. Like it's no one, what I'm saying, answer per se. What I'm saying, like it's a mixture. What I'm saying, but back to the chrysoprase and doing the inner child work. Thing or something I was gonna say about nickel too, but but basically, helping to face those aspects of self. And what I was gonna say is the chrysoprase is also a great crystal for like transmuting the energy of like if you. So basically, I would prescribe. Let's just say, what I'm saying. Of course, prescribe because these are just healing crystals. Crystals is not to replace your doctor's orders. And all that good fly. You know what I'm saying. Cover your ass type of language, but chrysoprase, shujolite. Matter of fact, chrysoprase, shujolite, sapphire, and numite. But the main ones I just say, uh, sapphire, shujolite, chrysoprase. All right, just mental health, because again, like what's happening right now, as I've had my own psychedelic experiences, what I'm saying, is realizing like that the energy, like what we experience on the psychedelic journey is gonna be is the energy that's coming up for the collective in essence, what I'm saying? Whereas like the truth being exposed to the fullest, and certain aspects of the truth, you know, uh, depending on where we're at energetically, because that's all a good trip or a bad trip really is. In essence, is what may be considered a bad trip is going within yourself in moments where things might be so, you could say, dark, or you could say things are such in the space of just unfamiliarity. You're just unfamiliar, or you're just in a space where you're kind of feeling very disconnected from source energy, let's just say, you know, those moments when you have a psychedelic journey, that could be like a quote unquote bad trip. You know what I'm saying? You might see some type of images of yourself or some images of certain, spirits or energies that you didn't really know was, dwelling inside of you in essence, you know what I'm saying? Or that was active inside of you, you end up seeing that, on a strong level, you know what I'm saying? And that could be, a very intense experience, you know what I'm saying? So again, like with that difference, good trip, bad trip, you know what I'm saying? Like that's in essence the vibe with that. And again, the Shujolite and Sapphire and Chrysoprase. So this is in general and for anybody who has dealt with psychedelics, definitely share, you know, again for, mental health uh abilities to keep the mental health stable. The Shujolite, and Shujolite has potassium in it. Potassium works with the pineal gland. And then the sapphire is real good for mental clarity as well. And both of them, sapphire, mostly in essence blue sapphire, but sapphire and shujalite, is known for like dealing with uh, most symptoms that has to deal with spiritual awakening or quote unquote psychosis in essence. You know what I'm saying? So that's two crystals also that I was led to, what I'm saying, in spirit, for myself to like work with, what I'm saying, to maintain a certain level of, mental clarity. Also, they great crystals to protect from psychic attacks, you know what I'm saying? So like any type of, ill will thoughts projected towards you. And, also understanding that balance of, you know, uh, creating from the inside and then have an experience where, although you are the creator, what I'm saying, from your own subconscious, you're still going to come across external, quote unquote antagonists, you know what I'm saying? So it's still going to have antagonists, existing in your experience, but it's like understanding why you're attracting that antagonist, you know what I'm saying? Why is that antagonist always allowed so close into your space, and and you always give in to this certain type of antagonist, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's about treating the roots and not the symptom, you know, because I could work with a Shujalite and Sapphire and Chrysoprase, for mental health, or, to, bring myself back from a quote unquote bad trip. But it's like, all right, making sure I get to the root of what caused that, that quote unquote bad trip or that, mental health condition in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, in which I would say, a lack of clarity of self, you know what I'm saying? When we have these certain trips, you know what I'm saying, these bad trips, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? It's like with more awareness of self, the trip would, be different, or it wouldn't be, again, a different perspective, and it wouldn't be, taken so harshly or be so overwhelming in essence. You know what I'm saying? But again, just those three, Sapphire, Shujalite, and Chrysoprase. And the Chrysoprase is going to help with like any nightmarish images or any images you may have saw that just feel like it's just hard to get out of your mind's eye. You know, Chrysoprase will help with that. And again, that Shujalite. And I say this much too: the Sapphire, a fire little combination for like you know, like a psychic shield as well would be, I would say, Shujalite and Black Sapphire. That's what this piece is: Shujalite and Black Sapphire. Real great. Uh, and I was saying earlier, Numite. Like Numite is real great for dealing with any type of like manipulative energies. Whether it's emotional, mental, physical manipulation, just manipulation on all levels. You know what I'm saying? New might is great. And again, like the new might allows for shamanic journeying. And what shamanic journeying is, it's just basically, like in essence, turning your inner realm into just that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're journeying inside yourself, you know, and the lesson loops we experience is due to a certain part or a certain soul fragment being traumatized, so we keep having this certain loop on repeat, because it's asking for attention. It's like this part of ourselves need that that healing and that awareness. First awareness, that's why it keep happening. If you're not aware, and then you have to become aware, acknowledge it, and take the necessary steps to do the healing. But also fluorite. Fluorite is a great crystal for mental clarity. If you're dealing with type of confusion or fog about something, you know what I'm saying? You feel like, you know, uh, again, it's just like some levels of mental clarity that's missing or something like that. Fluorite is a great crystal. Uh, Libyan desert glass is a great crystal for working with the solar plexus and also mental clarity, because most yellow crystals are going to help with mental clarity as well. No coincidence, with the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the area of the stomach, and it's also dealing with digesting. And, when we think about the Sanskrit word, what it is, Manipura, if I'm not mistaken. And the word Mani in essence being connected to jewels, you know what I'm saying? Like the solar plexus stands for the jewel city, and speaking of jewels, but working with the solar plexus are again like that Libyan desert glass, helping with the solar plexus to bring forth, levels of confidence and mental clarity. And again, like with that confidence, that's basically trust, being able to trust our gut, you know. And I realized, a while back when I made that video about like the sacral chakra manipulation, like yes, our emotions are targeted and it is connected with our sacral chakra, but it also has like a little connection to our solar plexus as well. And I realized like, I made that protect your neck video recently about the throat chakra and showing in the qigong book how the protection of the throat chakra is important and the protection of the solar plexus because most energy, like forms of energy leeching or energy attachment happens for sure. In most cases, the solar plexus and you could say the spleen chakra. So the solar plexus and the spleen chakra area is where these hooks, get connected at. And again, got to ask yourself, what did I do to become a vibrational match to somebody being able to latch on to me energetically like that? You know what I'm saying? Again, like you got to be aware that it's through your own mind, it's through your own subconscious, and a lot of what we're, becoming aware of is like, all right, in this lifetime, we're realizing like, where did I go wrong or lose sight of the fact that I'm mentally creating my experience or that my experience is uh, in alignment with my subconscious mind, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, uh, understanding like, all right, what did I do, or what did I forget, or last lifetime, you know what I'm saying, that keeps coming up in this lifetime, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the theme. And again, back to the mental health vibes, with Pisces, the Pisces Jupiter Neptune conjunction again, like that's gonna create, a space for, a lot of like psychedelic like experiences, possible psychosis, and possible, what I'm saying, being in delusion, what I'm saying, where, you're kind of, you know, the, like, illusion, but delusion. So it's like, you know, you already got the illusion, you know what I'm saying? But then also the illusion are basically like, die or two, like so double illusion, you know what I'm saying? You know, but that energy could cause that type of vibe. So being aware of that, you know what I'm saying. But again, the fluorite, Libyan desert glass, and also dambarite for mental clarity and working with the heart. Because one of the most important things right now too is to be aware to not bring your energy down, or like to maintain your level of unconditional love. Because no matter what nobody tell you, or no matter what anybody tells you, about like spiritual warfare and you got to do this and do that. At the end of the day, it is a game of you having to make sure you maintain, your alignment while, antagonists try to do whatever, what I'm saying? You have to maintain your purity and maintain your alignment, you know what I'm saying? Because the moment you like, all right, well, fuck it, let me do exactly what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? Defeating the purpose and the reset button, boop, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and also what I felt a need to bring up is working with uh, crystals like, but especially these main three: malachite, black obsidian, and epidote. To again, and you could even say quartz to some extent, but for sure malachite, obsidian, epidote, because it's more connected to the emotional energies. And when you just think of the simple fact that you got the new moon, full moon, but the full moon cycles that really affects our waters, internally and externally, being aware of our emotions, because the moon energy is emotional energy, subconscious energy, If you ever have a dream or you watch a movie where there's a body of water involved, you know what I'm saying? That body of water, in most cases, talking to, you know, emotions or the subconscious. You know, I think of the Truman Show. When Truman finally found out it was all a show and he was just trying to get away from, you know, all that, just all the lies of being in the show and nobody telling the truth about it. You know, he hopped into a boat, you know what I'm saying, and went into the waters, you know what I'm saying, into the subconscious, you know what I'm saying, to gain some clarity about the situation. You know, but again, like that direct correlation with the water, emotions, and the subconscious energy, you know. But you know, catharsis, you know, are basically like emotional purges. You know, to be aware that when you're working with, you know, malachite, obsidian, or epidote, if you feel yourself getting like over emotional, or you feel like your emotions is like, you know, like just kind of full to the brim, you know what I'm saying, to the point where you're not able to, you know, maintain, you know, and we say maintain, that's a broad, but you know, like you're like emotions go so filled to the brim to where you in essence becoming harm to yourself and then possibly to others, you know what I'm saying, of course becoming aware of it before it gets there, but you know working with malachite, obsidian, and epidote, you know, comes with that energy, you know what I'm saying. So being aware, we're working with those crystals, how we can emotionally purge, you know, so you might want to work at them, work with them, you know, for, you know, sparingly, you know, and not just like constantly, you know, all at once, but kind of spread the, you know, uh, you know, spread out the moments of how you use it. You know what I'm saying? Like use it for a couple of weeks and then put it down to, you know, to the side. You know, but again, this all goes with also, you know, that's what the pendulum's for and things of this nature, you know, to tap in with your own inner guidance and spirit guides and, you know, see what's best for you in the situation. But I'm just bringing to the awareness that, you know, we're working with those three crystals, how we can do emotional purging. So be aware of that, you know what I'm saying, when you tapping in with those crystals. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna share a few crystals. Some other little combinations that'll be good. And also a part of the bad trips combination. You know, chrysoprase, sugilite, sapphire, and then also rose quartz. You know what I'm saying? And rose quartz to me is like, you know, to me that's like one of the top crystals, you know what I'm saying, of like all crystals, you know what I'm saying? No matter, you know, no matter what, I always make sure I got me a piece of rose quartz. And I felt unconditional love vibrations from other crystals, but that rose quartz just hit on a level where, you know, it really, you know what I'm saying, allowed for you to just be like peaceful and now, like, you know, like, and that's one of the main promotions is to be present in your now moment, you know what I'm saying? And there's a trickle down effect, you know, when you love yourself, you know, you're going to make sure you get to know yourself, you know, when you know yourself, you're gonna be tapped into your, you know what I'm saying, to your intuition without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? When you tapped into your intuition without a doubt, you're gonna be very aware of what your plans are. You know what I'm saying? If you're aware of what your plans are and you're strong about that, you know, and when you love yourself, you know your worth, you know, as well. But you know your worth, you know what your plans are, then you're gonna have everything mapped out, you know what I'm saying? And when you have a lot of things mapped out, not rigidly, because you know, sometimes spirit may take us off of our rigid planning. But again, like you do your best to, you know, have some type of plan mapped out, you know what I'm saying? And with having the plans mapped out, you know, there's less fear of the unknown because you have your known factors that you're working from, you know, because again, there's still going to be the unknown as you go, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you have like a solid foundation due to, you know, again, like the inner awareness. So again, it's like one thing, take care of the next, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, everything we make is based off of our body, just like a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? If the you know one shock, you know, is off, the front shock by the front left tire is off. Eventually, the right shock will kind of start messing up, and the car start wobbling a little bit. Eventually, the tire gonna wear and tear a little more. Eventually, the whole alignment kind of gets off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, this is the little trickle down effects if you don't become aware to, you know what I'm saying, to hop on it when you sense the little small moments of seeing those differences. You know what I'm saying? But a great combination for protection and grounding, black tourmaline and petalite. If you ever feel like you're dealing with, some very dark or manipulative energies, you know what I'm saying? Because again, there's a fact that, again, there's antagonists that exist. It's like being aware, again, like when you get deep into, the esoteric understanding of, our existence, it gets very paradoxical, in that sense of like, hey, it's all you, but also, protect yourself, you know what I'm saying? This and that, be aware of your energy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a paradox, the same person to tell you one week, you know what I'm saying, you might need to hug somebody or be more loving, and then the next week, hey, you need to be aware of the boundaries you set, you know what I'm saying? Like again, that just comes with it, and I think that's, why the spiritual practices was tampered with, because it was tampered with by beings that wouldn't be able to handle that paradox, you know what I'm saying? Some beings, in essence, are not able to handle the balance of that awareness of that paradox. You know what I'm saying? Like, some beings can only be extreme in essence. You know what I'm saying? So, it's being aware, to maintain that, that awareness. Like I gotta, you wear your jewels in essence, but it's for inner work, and then it trickles out into the external realm. You know what I'm saying? But black tourmaline petalite, you know what I'm saying? That's a real great little combination. Petalite bringing in the high vibrations, tourmaline grounding energy, and also tourmaline is piezoelectric. So you can also like tap on it to give it a little, little electrical shock. But black tourmaline and petalite, definitely a great combination. Also for emotional detachment or spleen chakra hook removal, the top three crystals. And again, this is coming from me doing my own work and seeing references to it, but fluorite, green aventurine, and jade, which two of them, which I think green aventurine too, but one thing that they have in common is fluorite and jade, nephrite jade, both have fluorine in it. You know what I'm saying? So fluorine is a great, that element helps to like protect from, external influences. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like right now tapping into, you know, again, like your inner awareness, your inner guidance, and, being able to do things from a perspective of not just going on with an external program, but what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, again, like realizing, there's going to be, like that's where the spiritual aspect of no matter how much you're in a, illusion or whatever, or how much is a game, that's where it does get serious in the sense of having this awareness, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be, just going along with stuff because, oh, the universe got me. Because you got to realize, well, yeah, the universe does got you, but, have you, but it's a balance, you know what I'm saying? Like it's what's, what you're in tune with and receiving internally, and then lining up the pieces externally, but not lining up with anything externally, and then letting your internal get affected by what you're allowing yourself to externally line up with. You know what I'm saying? It's internal, external. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, again, like having that awareness of, what's your energy and what's, the environment's energy. You know, because even that came up too. With the spiritual, thinking about our alchemical threshold. You know what I'm saying? Like depending on the percentage of lead in a certain environment, or say lead, but heavy energies, depending on the percentage of a heavy energy in a certain environment, you could only alchemize so much of it to gold. So this goes back to, being aware of your alchemy abilities, but at the same time, with al- those alchemy abilities, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, for lack of a better word, not trying to force yourself to go into a shit palace and turn it all clean, you know what I'm saying, overnight, you know what I'm saying? And nor is that, our jobs, and like, like being aware of that martyr energy, you know what I'm saying? Again, like, where we place ourselves in, very extreme underdog like conditions, you know what I'm saying, to be the martyr, like, oh yeah, I got it from the mud, or, what I'm saying, I'm doing this or doing that. It's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Coffee vibes. Coffee vibes. Yeah, again, the alchemical threshold, you know, and not being a martyr, like not martyring ourselves or keeping ourselves in an environment that doesn't, promote, what's best for us. And again, that goes back to, understanding the, basically the full marriage of our every experience, sex is in everything, you know what I'm saying? So it's like understanding that masculine and feminine connection in everything we do, you know how the thought lines up with the emotion and how that turns into a certain action, and in essence planting a seed and then seeing what's going to be the fruit, you know what I'm saying? uh because literally that's the name of the game. It's just every moment being aware of the cycles we're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? And you know new moons planting seeds, full moons reaping what you sowed, new moons planting seeds. It's like that little, microcosmic cycle, you know what I'm saying? And you end up seeing what you're bearing from uh from that small cycle, you know what I'm saying? But it's that, and it's like, all right, in this cycle, I was a little bit too logical. My masculine, if my inner realm was like a house, the masculine was putting his foot down too hard and like, oh, I'm a man and too prideful and this and that. So, that causes, a certain situation, or it causes, a certain seed to be planted, and then you reap a certain fruit from having, your inner masculine, kind of being, unbalanced with the feminine, you know what I'm saying? You have a certain experience that show up after that. Yeah, fluorite, green aventurine, and jade for the emotional attachment removal and spleen chakra hook removal. And again, roots, you know what I'm saying? You gotta also do whatever else type of work, you know what I'm saying? Uh, whether it's forgiving, because a lot of emotional attachments or spleen chakra attachments, that has to deal with, some form of like, you could, have an addiction to toxic relationships, or, you know, uh, it's having to go within yourself and see, like that part of you that may be, attracted to these toxic relationships, kind of understand it, and in some cases I realized too, some things is meant for us to uncover and know the full thesis of it, you know what I'm saying, the full little storyline of it. And then some things is just meant for us to heal without us having to like go through every detail of it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's also important too, like just the whole balance, in general, it's like, yeah, you want to be aware of certain things, but certain things, you don't need to be aware of in order for it to necessarily heal. Like you just need to transmute the energy, and sense that difference. You know what I'm saying? But also with cutting energetic ties, green aventurine comes back up again. Leopard skin jasper, petalite, rainbow obsidian, and black kyanite. I did a video on black kyanite and doing the card cut, like, sweeping away the different little cards. And I got a video on leopard skin jasper and petalite as well, with that whole connection of like, talking to your spirit guides and talking to your animal spirits, you know what I'm saying, as well. And then to disperse a thought form. So, like certain thought forms slash egregors are certain, almost like entities, that in essence is created from a thought or idea, you know what I'm saying? But to disperse a thought form, working with labradorite, kunzite, iolite, pneumite, and then also shugelite and black sapphire as well, you know. But those crystals that help with dispersing the thought form, uh, with that energy of feeling like, because again, it's a mental situation if you're feeling like you're cursed or something like that, nobody can do anything unless you allow it to happen. And especially, again, with your subconscious creating your experience, is what you allow to, subconsciously intake, you know what I'm saying? So hence why it's more so about the protection of your mind as much as this, like again, the only reason why a person feels like they need physical protection is because their mind feels that they do. There's people walking around here, without any type of, don't have 30 guns on them or none of that. And, it's well protected, you know what I'm saying? Go into different countries and stuff and not loaded with 12 gauge and everywhere they go. But yet people, are not trying to harm them, and things of this nature. So it's a proven fact that, uh, having that balance awareness to each his own on what you feel, you know what I'm saying, on how you should align, but it's really knowing that, again, it's more so the mental factor because when you in a certain mental alignment, only certain things could exist in your experience, you know what I'm saying, point blank period, you know what I'm saying, and to the point where, if you change your mind that much, again, like your environment is going to change that much. Like if you get to a strong point of like, yeah, like, fuck the weapons or this and that, then you end up moving to a country where you really, really don't have to worry about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, you gotta, I don't know if I said it before, but I'm like, I gotta keep it a buck. Like anybody, any of us who still, in America, we still dealing with some trauma in essence, and I laugh about it, to some extent, not to cry, because it is a thing, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, certain people going, like deal with having a transition and stuff like that. But in America, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just being addicted to a lot of just toxic things of this realm, you know what I'm saying? And hence why we still in this environment. Now some of us have found little spaces within this environment where, where we have our communities where a lot of that, toxic energy doesn't exist on that level, you know what I'm saying? Let me say toxic for lack of a better word, because again, we're gonna have alkaline and acid energies, existing, keeping the pH balance, you know what I'm saying. But when I say toxic, things that just are, I forgot the word for it, but it's kind of like almost like toxic to the point of like almost being suicidal in essence, like doing things to harm yourself and others type of toxic, you know what I'm saying. But But yeah, bringing it back to the quote unquote uh, curse vibe, black tourmaline and pneumite, along with petalite, but black tourmaline and pneumite, great combination. You know what I'm saying? And again, like the pneumite is real good. Uh, Also, so no coincidence that again, like with MK Ultra and things of that nature, when you think of the Manchurian Candidate movie or just certain little, and just in this realm in general, where they're making this realm to where it's just like all kind of like little electrical devices around you, you know what I'm saying? Because it's in essence kind of stimulating the environment to make your mind more, more able to be programmed in essence, you know what I'm saying? Because again, with the MK Ultra vibes, using like shock therapy or electrical therapy to kind of, implement the control mentally, you know what I'm saying? So bringing it full circle of when I started the video, bringing up like the whole magnesium thing I brought up. I know I did it on the podcast as well, but like how the magnesium deals with anxiety and how Numite and serpentine are the two of the top crystals that are mostly available in most crystal shops. You know what I'm saying? Numite and serpentine that have a high level of magnesium in it. Peridot also has a high level of magnesium as well. But and no coincidence that Numite and serpentine is known as crystals to help with dealing with protection from spells or psychic protection as well. Because it helps to dampen that of electric energy. Also with the energy of taking on the feelings of others, you know what I'm saying? Black tourmaline, labradorite, and pyrite. Great combination along with the fluorite and jade. The fluorite and jade and green aventurine, again, gonna be great for like, having that protective wall up from external influences. You know what I'm saying? If you're really looking for some mental clarity and looking to see like what's really me in this now moment, like what's coming from me being in this environment, what's coming from me, genuinely, and fluorite and nephrite jade is a great combination for, for that energy. Let's see. Oh, also, back to the solar plexus explanation, again, like the solar plexus deal with our confidence, it deals with our mental clarity, and in essence, it's also, so other than the sacral, also emotional attachments may connect to the solar plexus as well. So carnelian, pyrite, septarian, golden healer. Golden healer comes up a lot, which the golden healer is almost like a hematite quartz in essence. It's kind of like quartz with the hematite inclusions, as well. But also sunstone, citrine, Libyan desert glass, and yellow or golden calcite or honey calcite. So again, great for working with the solar plexus. And you have to get in there, again, and ask what's the root cause, though, of the symptoms I'm feeling. Because again, if we just go to heal the symptom, like, oh, I got insomnia, like, cool, there's a crystal that can help with that. But, you know, and that's how you'll know, like, you get a crystal, to help heal a certain symptom, and you realize if you're really healing the root or just a symptom if you see it pop up again after working with the crystal, or should I say you see it pop up again after working with the crystal for a nice little minute, because you do want to give it time, especially like agates or jaspers, or crystals that's more grounded, or the vibrational rate is a little slower than high vibrational crystals. You got to give it like a couple of weeks, what I'm saying, to see. But, after those couple of weeks, if you see that symptom, resurface in essence, I seem like it wasn't, within those 3 weeks of working with that crystal, you didn't see like a strong change, what I'm saying? And there's some type of root cause that you need to become aware of, what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, again, like that's what's getting exposed is ourselves, what I'm saying? It's like whatever we're experiencing, what I'm saying? Whatever we feel like is attacking us or whatever it has to deal with our own our own subconscious, our own mental realm, our own mental body. So also for spirit attachment, to detach, these spiritual attachments, you know, and this spirit attachment is general. So this could be like a disembodied, like, a person who transitioned, or a consciousness or spirit who never embodied in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? This could also kind of stem into like the ET attachments. You know what I'm saying? But you know, again, like crystals to help with, detaching spirits. Chlorite quartz, golden healer, fluorite, kunzite, labradorite, larimar, larvicite. Larvicite is basically like it's almost like indigo gabbro. It's marketed sometimes as a black labradorite or even black moonstone. But larvicite, basically kind of like it's a feldspar, so kind of like a labradorite energy. Again, also iolite, Libyan gold, tektite, Libyan gold, obsidian, petalite, golden phantom selenite. Let's see, the golden phantoms. It's like a little selenite. And golden phantom selenite's real good, for doing EFT tapping too. You know, which is another great way to do energy work. Doing the EFT tapping. But let's see, I said golden phantom selenite. Selenite, celestial quartz. And celestial quartz, also known as Jacare quartz. Jacare connected to, the crocodile in essence because of all of the ridges in it. You know, it's somewhat like one. And most celestial quartz are also kind of, in most cases, it'll probably be in hydro, so it'll have like little water inside of it as well. And then also, it most likely may be almost like a Herkimer diamond too. It'll be like a little double sided. You know, but celestial quartz, pneumite, and black obsidian. You definitely find some strong downloads with, obsidian, and connecting with the volcanic energy or like the inner earth energy, you know what I'm saying? Obsidian, you know, basically, in essence, I mean, all crystals, come from the magma in essence, and I told a story a while back in one of the crystal videos about, how the magma is almost like to some, for lack of a better word, it's almost like the no thing energy and like things being born out of the no thing, you know what I'm saying? Because the magma is like just this mixture, this fiery mixture, but yet you get all the different crystals from that magma, you know what I'm saying? You could get a hematite with just iron in it from the same magma that you get uh, garnet, which has all kind of little combinations, manganese, different little combinations, so like you get all those different crystals from, that magma, and being aware of again how the crystals grow, or how they're formed. Did they form from deep in the earth? Because crystals that form from deep in the earth allows for you to work on deep transformation. Crystals that, that's the plutonic crystals, Pluto deep, you know what I'm saying? And then the vulcanites are the ones that grow a little bit, in the higher area. And those crystals are better for, more surface level things, you know what I'm saying? You know, I think it's called sedimentary. I'll just say secondary crystals. You know what I'm saying? Crystals created in the secondary form. That's crystals that are formed from like being close to the crust. So dealing with those conditions of either water erosion or wind erosion. So it's like, crystals to help you deal with changes in the environment. You know what I'm saying? And then those crystals would be good. So again, like it's a little science to every Working with the crystals for sure. And just like with everything, you know what I'm saying? Nothing is all bad and all good, you know what I'm saying? Because you could work with a crystal that could be overwhelming or, or that, you know, I think of the difference of like, depending on what ancestors you're trying to connect with, you know what I'm saying? And making sure that you're connecting with the energies that's in alignment for you, you know? Because I think of like, the difference in working with crystals that have elements in them that the body don't have a lot of. For sure you're gonna be channeling energies that's not familiar with our human body suit, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? Because I think of my small experience with that was working with cinnabar. Cinnabar has mercury in it, and mercury is not in our bodies like that. And you kind of, in essence, would kind of understand why. You think about mercury. That's the liquid that comes in the thermometers, and it changes, it expands and contracts like, in essence, at the snap of a finger. Hence why it's used as, in a thermometer. So imagine having like a lot of that liquid in you, that liquid metal. So like, and that goes into it too. When you think about like, beings in a certain dimension created a certain type of way. Like imagine if our bodysuits had mercury in it, with fluctuating temperatures, we would be all big when it's hot outside, and then we'll be all small when it's cold. You know what I'm saying? So, seeing that correlation, but I found that working with mercury is like feeling like I was, because Mercury also deals with the energy of the planet Mercury and Quicksilver and like the mental capacities. But it felt like, you know again, because that also, and this is no good or bad, right or wrong, like, oh, Jehudi is the devil or this and that, you know what I'm saying, from that perspective. But just how, though, when we talk about information and being illuminated and uh the whole enlightening, you know what I'm saying? But like, how the light is connected with, and also in the name of Lucifer, you know what I'm saying? Lucifer, lucid dreaming, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the light show. But, we're working with Cinnabar, kind of gave off that energy of like, what is called Icarus. And then also, like, I bring up the example of the movie Pie, but like on the movie Pie, where he was like, you know, dealing with like the Hebrew gematria and dealing with the number pi and like creation and God, but he was like so into it, he's like just almost like blew up, in essence. You know what I'm saying? It's like it had that energy of like mental overload, like you could go there, you know what I'm saying, working with Cinnabar for a extended period of time, or again, like without any awareness of what you're working with. So again, there'd be a difference in working with the crystals that have elements that are more present in the body, and ones that are not, you know what I'm saying, is present. Like you sense that difference. And the lapis lazuli, lapis lazuli, again, I realized that after seeing the recent researches of the solar plexus and the throat chakra, and where attachments or energies try to kind of hold on, that is with that throat chakra and solar plexus, you know. Uh, but the lapis, working with the throat chakra and also having pyrite in it, so it's working with the solar plexus as well. So it's a powerful crystal just within that sense. And then I did a video a while back about the Metatronic shield, but like a certain crystal combination, is a certain combination of rings that you wear with your copper bracelets and wearing a piece of lapis lazuli as well. You know what I'm saying? But also, lapis is real good for visualizations and holding focus in the visualizations. Because, another thing that just always stays constant is like how everything comes back to our ability to focus. You know what I'm saying? It's like staying focused on our purpose, or staying focused to the point where we're not allowing anything to distract us. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you think about unsuccessful meditations, it's probably because you allow for something to distract you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, look, my toenail. you know oh, I heard a dog bark. What was that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's those distractions. And I think about, like, on a microcosmic level or just on a bigger level, what that could mean for a whole entire universe if source energy. So, like, again, like I got my whole little inner realm and I'm maintaining, a harmony and alignment within. What would happen if I got too distracted, from dealing with my internal realm or dealing with my mental, emotional, and physical health? You know what I'm saying? So, focus is a very key situation. So that lapis, and again, like we talk about manifestation, like visualize it, to the point of like tasting it and touching it in your visualizations. Lapis helps to amplify that ability, you know what I'm saying? So, lapis lazuli definitely, again, just a powerful crystal in that, sentiment. And of course, I said already, but Newmite is, Newmite definitely, again, like one of the best crystals at just dealing with any form of like transmute, or basically like doing, our shadow work in essence, you know what I'm saying? But, again, like the protection that these crystals quote unquote provide is that it in essence brings forth, internal awareness. It allows for you to be so aware of yourself, because even a hematite, hematite is grounding you and it's bringing you into your energy field, and you're strongly aligned with your own energy. you know when you're strongly aligned with your energy, you're very confident. When you're confident, weak weaker spirits or weaker energies that can't knock you off your confidence, could sense that, what I'm saying? So they kind of stay away from you. So it's not necessarily that, oh, this piece of hematite just like shielded, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's like the trickle down effect of working on your inner realm to, it's translating to your external experience. But again, that's that's all for the crystals. And before going on to the next subject, the again, like the chemicals and elements, or should I say the elements involved in, the different crystals, and that connection with, the chemical reactions in the body, because, the body language is of chemicals, you know. And again, I brought that up, about how, Dr. Jewel Pookrum, brought that up, what I'm saying, as far as like saying it like, exactly like that, the body language is of chemicals, so basically, that in think about chemicals, alchemy, alchemy, what I'm saying? But when we have a certain thought, that certain thought causes a chemical reaction, what I'm saying? And again, that thought causes a chemical reaction. That chemical reaction, let's just say, releases cortisol, and you get all, stressful, and you get stressed and you feel weak. Now I could get a crystal to help with that weakness and treat that symptom. But what's the root cause to me even having that symptom? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're doing, any work with crystals, you know what I'm saying? We want to do things down to the real essence of it, and not just surface level touching. It's like, using the crystals to help work on the root cause of a situation and not just healing the symptom. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a beautiful thing that it doesn't have all kind of, unhealthy things, you know what I'm saying, to add on to not healing the roots, you know what I'm saying? But again, like, when we have that certain thought and it has that certain chemical reaction, we want to work on, what's the root cause to that thought, you know what I'm saying? So in essence, like, so say for instance, if I did have the chemical reaction of stress or cortisol, yeah, I would probably get a crystal to help, help the symptom. But again, like with the awareness that, all right, the symptoms come from something deeper, so I get a crystal for the symptom and to work on the root, because if I find out that the thought is being caused that, due to being pessimistic because of what my mama told me when I was 7, I need to do that inner, that inner visualization work, that inner journal work, you know what I'm saying? Uh, whatever form of spiritual practice, leads you to, tapping in with that healing, healing the roots, you know what I'm saying? And again, same thing with emotion, having a certain emotion could, cause a certain chemical reaction, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, like being aware of the different crystals we're working with, and how does it play into our internal realm, or the chemical reactions within the body, and again going to the focus on what's the root cause instead of just healing the symptom in essence. Jose Perez, you might have to look at the video, bro, because I don't want to. Cause only thing I don't remember is what side the garnet ring go on. So that's why I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But there's a piece of lapis on either a silver, gold, or copper chain, you know what I'm saying? Uh two copper bracelets, and then a single refracted ring on one hand, and then a double refracted ring on another hand. But the single refracted ring, as far as single refracted crystal, I should say, I should say, so a single refracted crystal in a certain ring, you know what I'm saying, for your fingers. So, excuse me, spinal or spinal, but spinal, garnet, and diamond are the only single refracted rings. So you only got three different types of crystals to choose from. But you put one of those three crystals on one hand, and then the double refracted, which is any other crystal, other than those three, on the other hand. But I can't remember which hand that it goes on. See what comment, most definitely. The wind erosion. Yeah. Magnesium. Angel Vargas, just just off of the top, you have to do your own, got to do your own studies and research further. But because I am choosing to speak on some of these things right now, I say the again, like just simply put, magnesium helps to it works on the nervous system, and it helps for the nervous system to not be so overwhelmed by you know, uh, electrical energy in general, you know what I'm saying? But it basically like dampens the sensitivity of the nervous system, you know what I'm saying? So by eating magnesium rich foods or working with magnesium crystals, either way it go, because that's another thing that how it comes in, and what crystals could help too. I thought about like for people who do a lot of fasting or intermittent that fasting, you know what I'm saying? But when you're doing a lot of fasting, you can use certain crystals to make up for not receiving certain nutrients, you know what I'm saying? Now again, this is a balance, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could wear hematite for lack of iron in my diet, but that doesn't mean, oh, I don't have to eat iron at all because, I got a piece of hematite. You know, you gotta find that balance for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because that was another thing that I was gonna kind of commence on. Is just like, like right now, realizing, finding that balance or equanimity or integrity, or that integration of, all the parts of yourself. Find out how that works for you. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, you know, uh, like one person, it might be better for them to receive insight about what goes on in the world through the news. They know how to maneuver and get just the message that's necessary from the news and back away. While some of us like I just let that information come to me, you know what I'm saying, through, you know, like for me, my example, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't watch the news and none of that shit at all, but like I'd be in a grocery store or go, be out somewhere and it's like, oh, did you hear? Da, da, da. And then I go somewhere else and like, did you hear that? And it's like, all right, this is obviously something for me to be aware of because it's showing up in multiple different little places, you know what I'm saying? And again, uh, and just because something's showing up in multiple different places, you got to be aware of what's the message, you know what I'm saying? Because some things that's showing up, it may not be, it could be like something that's harmful towards you, you know what I'm saying, or beneficial. You just got to be, aware of what type of insight or whatever it is that's showing up in the environment. What's up, Miss Amber? Peace, peace. But but yeah, as far as the magnesium, as we were saying, that's again connected with the nervous system. So you could either eat magnesium rich foods, you know what I'm saying? You could drink you some birch tree water. I'm laughing though because I said like birch tree water is everywhere. Go get you some birch tree water. But because I thought of it because I done came across it before. I remember seeing the water because being on the chaga mushroom vibes, chaga mushrooms a lot of times will grow on birch trees. And I saw birch tree water somewhere too. Matter of fact, in Los Angeles at the grocery store out there, and it had a high level of magnesium in it, and I always remember that. I'm like, damn, for some water, this got a high level of magnesium in it, so birch tree water. But of course, along with watching the or listening to, well, yeah, I did the video on it and got the podcast, but also again like doing your own research, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things too is just like being open to, adapting and changing, you know what I'm saying? Like it is also key right now too, like not following anything just to rigidly follow it or just because so and so follow it or because Universal said something about it. So let me, like, again, I'm the first to tell y'all, man, don't just be doing shit because you heard me say it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got to tap in with your intuition and do your research. You know what I'm saying? Like all that is very key. And again, like the acid alkaline balance. And even that's something that'd be another video, because also with the crystals, you got different crystals that have an acid and alkaline, like, could be more acidic or more alkaline in that sense, you know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, talking about psychedelics, the mushrooms, they like a more alkaline environment. Hence why if you ever had a shrimp trip and you felt like it didn't do much for you, it's probably because your body was super acidic, or you might have had a quote unquote bad trip because your body was like very acidic. That's why, what I'm saying, they matter of fact, that'll also be like the reason why you feel a lot of nausea dealing with them too, is because either you done ate heavy or you got a lot of acidic, uh or basically just an acidic pH balance in the body, compared to like having more alkalinity, so the trip will be more in like a more high vibrational experience. And always remembering again, like high vibrations and low vibrations, neither one is better than the other. It's almost like saying our root chakra is bad and our crown chakra is good. And that's the key. Again, like I'm be dropping that video, but like, again, like with just the subconscious, like just it should be subconscious shit, you know what I'm saying? Cause the sickness in that is the subconscious programming of wanting to find, like, I gotta find some absolute, like, what's right and what's wrong. It's like, everything got a little bit of right and a little bit of wrong in it. You gotta find that right, you know what I'm saying? Quote unquote. right balance, you know what I'm saying, in it for you, you know what I'm saying? But again, acid alkali balance in everything that we do. So not just necessarily from a food perspective, but just in our actions, making sure we got that acid alkali balance, you know what I'm saying? And what I want to say also, to bring forward to the awareness too, is like, with balance, and that equanimity, also dealing with our extrasensory perception, being aware to, in essence, you could like tune down or turn down your extrasensory perception, you know, again, having the ability to, have these things on quote unquote remote control. But like I thought of the example when I went into, a busy coffee shop, or you go into a store, you know, but I use a coffee shop as an example. I'm going to work on some things. I don't need to be reading the minds of everybody who I come across, you know what I'm saying, to that extent, like give the expression of like, hey, so it's let me know, let my spider senses tingle if it's something that I do need to be aware of to that extent. Other than that, I ain't trying to, because uh, from how this is promoted through the new age perspective of spirituality, it's almost like, oh, if you're not being psychic all the time, then something is wrong with you, or you have to be super heightened, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, again, imagine a being whose senses is super heightened in this plane of existence, in this earthly plane. They would be paralyzed. Imagine, like, your hearing is like super strong. Every time a train passed, that person would be like, like, and literally in some cities or environments, that's a lot. Sirens, trains, a bunch of people thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, uh, learning how to, ground ourselves within those environments. You know what I'm saying? And again, speaking to our extrasensory perception straight up, what I'm saying, like, hey, I'm toning it down. You could either also visualize your auric field coming in a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, before you step into one of those environments, to kind of just bring things in, you know what I'm saying. But and again, like a crystal, like speaking of Numite and serpentine, that's also the science behind that as well. Like, by having that dampen, like by having the nervous system sensitivity dampen, you know what I'm saying? And again, look at the correlation, thoughts. Thoughts is connected to air. Air is connected to the masculine. And when you talk about magnetism and electricity, electricity is connected to the masculine aspect. So, the thoughts is connected to, the electricity, and talk about the neural pathways and electricity going through the neurons of the mind, you know what I'm saying? And the whole what's the terminology? Thoughts that fire together, wire together, something like that. But you're dealing with that electrical energy. So that's another reason why, again, like new might, our serpentine is real great for like quote unquote protection from psychic attacks on that level, you know what I'm saying? But again, like, being aware that you can, turn off, and I say turn off, but like, again, like lower the sensitivity of your abilities, and again, like finding that balance for yourself. And then when, say for instance, if you are a person who, whether you do tarot readings, you know, or you just step into an environment where it's necessary for you to be, more aware of, what's going on in the ethers on the thought level, you know what I'm saying? And you could make sure that, like, hey, I need my skills to be, fully on, fully clear, full clarity, fully amplified, you know what I'm saying, for this situation, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But, just being aware that, you could also have those intentions with, you know, your extrasensory perception, as well. Yeah, the serpentine definitely, again, that and newmite, two of the most common crystals you could find in crystal shops that has a high level of magnesium in it. But yeah, it's like, again, like knowing those root causes to whatever symptom is being, displayed, because again, I could get a quote unquote, and again, I already spoke, y'all know what's up as far as like the prescription poisons or whatever, but like again, you using that as example though, like you get a lard tab to heal your pain, but what's the true you know root cause to that pain? What I'm saying, the root cause of a certain pain in most cases, again, like everything is energetic, what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of us, stepped into this realm, in essence, is to help people be aware of like, how it's an energetic connection, what I'm saying? Like, a certain physical symptom pop up because of a certain, energy, what I'm saying, that is showing up, what I'm saying? Like etherically, and astrally you're dealing with a certain energy, then it translates into a certain, body symptom, you know. And again, I could get a crystal or a medicine or herb to treat the symptom, but it's like about treating the root cause to the whole situation. Oh yeah, most definitely the crystals. You know what I'm saying? You know, again, just by me, bringing it up, like the crystals that I brought up in this video. If y'all watching this video and you never worked with some of these crystals that I brought up, that's because that crystal energy is calling out for you to, work with it. You know what I'm saying? And again, being aware of the influence of all the things that we work with. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, again, like, and it's something I never really brought up, but like being aware when working with crystals that certain crystals could have like I done brought it up somewhat when I talked about like how quartz have the little rainbow reflection in it, and that may be like a little fairy or a certain type of being in that crystal. But being aware, that I guess the hygiene of dealing with crystals, what I'm saying? Like making sure that you, quote unquote, cleanse and clear your crystals, what I'm saying? And definitely offer the strength that, like certain people might have did some energy work and banished a certain entity into a crystal, what I'm saying? And that be the one you end up buying, what I'm saying? So it's like, like being aware, what I'm saying? I'm again like I'm laughing a little bit, but nah, that's some real shit, what I'm saying? Like being aware of the hygiene of your crystals and fully cleansing them and clearing them, speaking it into existence like, hey, I'm removing all programs that pre-existed before our connection, any little entities that's what I'm saying connected to this, move around right now, what I'm saying. And uh most most energies that try to hide in the shadows, let's just say it like that, what I'm saying, uh, by bringing, bringing in light to the crystal, through your visualizations, what I'm saying, also actual sunlight, but like through a visualization where, you see an intense light go through the crystal, that could kind of move that energy out in essence. But, like that's the thing too, though, what I'm saying, being aware of, the certain energies, because again, like even with doing jewelry, I'm only allowed to do, and say allowed, but like I'm only feeling that inspiration or doing it in moments where my energy is up to par to be touching on, these crystals in order to share, you know what I'm saying? And I always do an extra little cleansing at the post office a lot of times too, to kind of just like finalize that intention right before they go off. But because again, at the end of the day, you got to do your own clearing and cleansing, you know what I'm saying, yourself, you know what I'm saying? But definitely gotta be aware of that aspect to the crystals for sure. After working with crystals, do you think we can outgrow our family? Uh, I mean, to some extent, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna outgrow certain family members, you know what I'm saying. But I realized to not again like let it be. Now is the vibrate and with my intuition right now, like what's best in this now moment from the perspective of being tapped in with my intuition and not necessarily off of you know like because this what could happen because again the subconscious programming of listening to preachers or looking for insight outside of ourselves, we'll fuck around and like listen to like somebody might say like, hey, instead of expressing it in the sense of like, hey, you might end up being indifferent with your family, they may have expressed it like, hey, fuck your family. When you spiritually grow, you just got to leave them all behind. You know what I'm saying? And that's more so a generalization from their filter. They may have had like experiences that just make them say, fuck their family members or whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They may have went through something that caused that type of vibe, but it's like understanding that balance, like to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, and this is just not with blood family in general. Allow for whoever remains in your experience or who is removed from your experience. Let it be from again like you genuinely aligning with your inner truth and not just doing it out of the fact that oh well, I heard so and so say on the video or in a book or I saw a billboard that's of course not no billboard bullshit but you know what I'm saying like not letting it be just off of an external fact of what you heard somebody say. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be from your own experience, because again, and I'm going to get into that. I'm going to do a collaboration video and, it's connected to, uh, Yu Yu Hakusho, that anime, and Jujutsu Kaizon or Kaizon. That's a newer one, but Yu Yu Hakusho, all the old heads, y'all know that one. You know what I'm saying? But they in Jujutsu Kaizon or Kaizon, they gave it a name, but they didn't necessarily give it a name in Yu Yu Hakusho. And matter of fact, the video no, it's on my Patreon, but I highlighted that video on my Patreon recently. Because I did a little, I posted it on YouTube, but basically, uh, on Jujutsu Kaizon, they call it innate domain or domain expansion. You know what I'm saying? Is when a certain being could expand its domain. You know, so like if it's a fire being and he was facing a water being, the fire being could like create a situation where they surrounded by fire and that water being would feel that fire and like basically like it's in that environment. But the thing was in that perspective that whoever had the more refined back to focus, whoever was like more focused and refined in their connection with themselves, aka their environment in essence, would end up being the one that could create that domain expansion, or say for instance both of them tried to create domain expansion, the one who's more refined and more focused in their energy would be the one that that would have more of that influence, you know what I'm saying? But it brings me back to the video I did on like how it would be like, oh, I can't go over there because again, you got to be aware of the environments. You know what I'm saying? There's certain environments that doesn't, you know, that doesn't help or promote our spiritual growth. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not, fertile land for our spiritual growth in essence. But, also again, that balance to not be in that vibe of like, oh, they so unwoke, I can't go around them. You know what I'm saying? Because in essence, again, that's almost like saying, I'm so like my energy is almost like again like almost like saying I'm disconnected from source to some extent. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like saying like I don't have the energy to maintain who I am around them, just simply put. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like, God, you have to be aware to be yourself, because that all goes back. I spoke many little think fast videos about that whole little vibe. It's like that uncomfortable feeling that an empath gets. You know what I'm saying? When the truth has to be when the truth has to be told. Yes, in essence, you're feeling that uncomfortableness of like what the person may feel. When you express this truth, but it also kind of goes back to you as well. As far as like it may be you that may feel uncomfortable with speaking the truth and also having the sense, that energy, you know what I'm saying, of like how it's gonna feel when you speak that truth. But again, like, with family or whoever, it's just by being yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, and understanding what that is, you know what I'm saying, to the fullest, instead of going around just looking for people like, oh, I'm canceling that person, or, I'm fucking with that person, just more so like just being yourself to the fullest. And, you'll see through the synchronicities of your experience, you know what I'm saying? And look at the outcomes of the synchronicities, you know, uh, aligning you in a manner where it promotes growth or more toxicity, you know what I'm saying? Because also, even with we're seeing repeated numbers, what a lot of people like to call angel numbers. But when you see the repeated numbers and stuff like that, a repeated number don't necessarily mean like, oh, all peaches and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? You could be seeing a certain number pattern because it's an unhealthy cycle that is reminding you that you're about to step into. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's synchronicity, but it's synchronicity of helping you to become aware of a toxic cycle, possibly. You know what I'm saying? So again, uh, with that awareness, it's not just all one sided in essence. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. But yeah, Vedika Nor, the the whole thing with the family vibe, like, yeah, it's like allow for it to be, something that's, in alignment genuinely, what I'm saying, from within, and not just, oh, somebody said that you're gonna stop working with family, so let me just stop working. But no, don't just stop if there's not no reason to. But again, like in most cases, yeah, some of us have a certain level of spiritual awareness or awareness in general on a conscious level that's just gonna have us kind of separate. But again, it's like separation naturally, and not just like forcing it off of a ideal thought form, so to speak. you know ah Shout out to Amber for the one piece. I can't remember if somebody had that little ability to create like the room or the domain, and and I don't know if I draw that, or pull that full, that expression fully into conclusion of like the whole family connection, because that's why I brought that up. But basically, with the domain expansion vibes, it's like you know by being fully ourselves, you know what I'm saying, no matter where we go, we kind of create, our domain to be no matter where we go, you know what I'm saying? Like I made the joke a while back in my videos, like where, you know, which I always did my best. It wasn't, I would try to lean towards the toxic positivity, but the universe would always guide me to, be aware and appreciate the negativity. But I think about though when I was like, looking to be more positive in the things I do, and because I was meditating strongly and strongly in alignment with that energy, when I would go places, people would interact with me in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Like and I made the joke of like one time I roll up on one of my partners and they wasn't really expecting me, and and things was a little rowdy in the crib. You know what I'm saying? It's like like just that whole energy that you carry. It comes with you, and that's another thing too. Like the collective experience. Connecting with our soul fam and just the collective experience in general. It's like when we come across each other, it's like, filling out each other's energies, whenever we're in the same environment, like if I forget shit a lot, and I go around somebody who doesn't, when we connect, you know, even though, let's just say, we ain't even gonna say just say energy is equal, but that person that forgets things a lot, what I'm saying, that energy is gonna come into the realm of the person who doesn't forget things a lot, and this goes to the awareness of like being aware of who we hold in space with and how to hold space with each other, in a fashion where we're being relatable, but from an authentic perspective. You know what I'm saying? Where like we're being relatable, but not to the point of being fake. Like I'm not gonna like I could be relatable with the person who's sitting outside drinking a 40, but not to the point of like faking it in the sense of like I'm in a place where I don't drink like that no more. So I'm not gonna try to fake relate in the sense of like, oh man, let me grab me a 42 and sit out, which hey, to each his own. A certain moment that might, call for that energy, but for the most part, what I'm saying, it's like having that relatable interaction, relate sonship, relate sonship, you know, also kind of almost like relate shun or shin ship, what I'm saying? We think about shin meaning spirit from the Hebrew perspective, or like the fire energy, but because the sun, fire energy, spirit as well. But relating sonships are being relatable, what I'm saying? But from a again from an authentic perspective, what I'm saying? Where we not trying to be something that we're not. But again, with the whole domain thing, again, like that person that doesn't forget things makes kind of every now and then forget something. You know what I'm saying? And again, like it's coming from sharing space with that person that forgets things, and being aware of this is very key. And especially when we connecting with somebody that we never really you know for lack of a better word, because some people we're connecting with right now, we could sense, like, oh, I didn't had an incarnation with you before, and this and that. But also, to be open to, like understanding each other. You know what I'm saying? Understanding what we're experiencing when we're in each other's presence. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. But yeah, and yeah, and I can't remember the character from One Piece. Let me see. Before I go, let me see if this is gonna come up. I should have done it beforehand. It's not coming up. But it's good to know that with StreamYard I could do this. And as I brought up the domain expansion thing, that's another thing too. It's not about like, you know, it's like the balance awareness. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that dog eat dog energy. You know what I'm saying, within this realm. And I didn't expressed it on so many levels of like, you know, dealing in this realm. You're gonna like something is harming something constantly, you know what I'm saying? But in essence, it goes into the balance of this realm. So you just have to be strong about who you are, you know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily doing it out of like trying to be in spiritual warfare or battle with your external realm, as much as it's just like knowing yourself to the fullest, aligning with your soul purpose, and just allowing yourself to be clear and what's your inner truth, and what's your soul purpose in this lifetime, and not necessarily doing it to like make sure that I bring them into my domain. You know what I'm saying? Like not from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Just more so again, like the alignment of self-help. Point blank. But that is basically it. Touched on all bases. Just in and on that vibe again. We just finished with this Taurus new moon energy. You know what I'm saying? Planting these seeds in connection with our physical abundance and prosperity, appreciating the physical realm. You know what I'm saying? The bull. That's why it's used in the symbology of like money. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the little bank that got the bull as the symbol or whatever, but tapping into our material wealth and abundance. And you're gonna find yourself like just wanting to kind of indulge a little bit more, possibly. You know what I'm saying? Knowing again, got to know that balance of what's best for you in this moment. You know what I'm saying? But you might be find yourself eating more pleasurable foods. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying more of the aesthetics of life, like physical appearances of things, you know what I'm saying? And again, the awareness is to, again, like not label this as neither good nor bad, you know what I'm saying? The material is the material. Yes, it is a temporary expression. Yes, it is a part of the illusion. Yes, it is, you know, uh, you know, a lower vibration compared to other vibrations, but it's not, again, it's neither all good nor all bad, you know what I'm saying? Like it has its positives and its negatives, you know what I'm saying? Like a kid getting an inheritance, let's just say, you know what I'm saying, of $1 million. Although that sounds just it sounds like one sided, like, one sided situation of just good, like, oh, I can't see how having $1 million is bad, but no, it has its positive and negative effects, like, and that's what awareness come in to not have a selective eye, from the perspective, a selective one-sided eye where it's like always looking for trying to place it to one side. It's like, like seeing the wholeness of the experience, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing how the positive and negative could exist in something positive or negative, you know what I'm saying? Because again, that's also a protection energy, you know what I'm saying? As far as like when the one door closes, another one opens. You know what I'm saying? So that's like rejection. Matter of fact, rejection could be protection. So oh, that was negative. I got rejected from that, but you was probably getting, again, there's a positive side to that too, because you was also probably getting protected from something that you wasn't ready for. You know what I'm saying? But that's the main biz. Matter of fact, man, appreciate everybody, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all holding the space y'all holding. know, where y'all from. Shout out where you're from in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna check out a few questions before I go. If anybody got any questions connected with anything I discussed, you know, definitely like with again like working with crystals in any way, form, or fashion. Yeah, gonna commence. Florida, all right, Florida in the house. Cosmic Wisdom 99. Excuse me, 999. Got to get it all correct. Got it correct. Matter of fact, and bro, again, man, I appreciate being able to, what I'm saying, build with y'all and, share on this platform. Of course, I understand that things will get to a space where, it should, it's going to be more of like, the physical connections and not so much through computers, but also like not knocking the process of still using computers, you know, as we preserve our extrasensory perception and preserve our abilities to do certain things without computers, what I'm saying, still being aware of how again, not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Computers not all bad or all good, you know. Yep, and matter of fact, you got Mr. Bridge of Rye in the chat. That's gonna be the spoiler alert. That's gonna be the I brought up the domain expansion. What I'm saying? That's going to be the collaboration. We'll kind of tap into that energy a little bit. You know, that's coming soon. Also got another collaboration. I'm just, that's another thing too, learning how to balance vulnerability, what I'm saying, with sharing, like, of course, we may share some of the things that we are doing, but we don't have to share everything. You know what I'm saying? And again, not from an external perspective of like, oh, you know, like realize again how the external realm reflects, is a reflection of the internal, you know, just like when you're working on yourself, and it's better for you to not necessarily warn yourself before you do something, you know. It's like if you give yourself too much, not say give yourself, but like if you bring up a certain thing that you want to do, let's just say, what I'm saying, you want to go play football outside 3 days straight, you know, internally the ego also hears that as well. And the ego could, try to create the doubts and fears about your plans. Like, well, other than playing football, you should possibly do this and you should possibly do that. You know what I'm saying? Again, like that energy comes up internally, then shows up externally as far as like, also not sharing things externally about like what certain intricate details you may be working on and things of this nature, you know what I'm saying? But it's not from a powerless place of like, oh, the external realm is gonna overrule me if I, say this, that, or the third. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, you could still share, but it's being aware of that, you know, it's a reflection of internal, you know, because what a lot of us also, may be dealing with, is that stubbornness of a situation. Again, even with like how I brought up, with the narcissist vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, yeah, you may have had an experience that brought forth the external, version of a narcissist. But for one, you got to be aware that everybody done displayed some level of narc energies in some way, form, or fashion in this realm. It's just what makes it a difference is somebody who's deliberately doing it, full fledged, like I'm doing this to be manipulative, or or they could see the toxicity in it and they're not trying to change it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, again, you have to go to yourself and ask yourself like what you're doing to attract that person, place, or thing. You know what I'm saying? It all goes back to, and I think I saw you, Bridget Rob, Mr. Aaron, make a video about like that accountability factor. You know, it's like put yourself under that microscope. First and foremost before you try to, like the old saying go, before you try to sweep off somebody else's porch, you gotta worry about your own porch first. You know what I'm saying? Just simply put, be aware of be aware of also the difference in, you got positive and negative, or you should I say you got acid and alkaline, but then you just got things that are just completely, you know, like being aware of the spirit, the different spiritual energies that you tap into internally and externally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about like certain music videos and certain musicians, and just certain beings in general that's like, you're starting to see like what energies they really fucking with, you know what I'm saying, or what they really tapping into, and it's being aware that, so say for instance, if I'm looking for some balance in my energy, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to listen to a little bit of, you know, some music that's gonna get me like, it's gonna bring me through those lower vibrations, bring me through that root chakra, you know what I'm saying? Like I think for myself, a lot of old school Louisiana music, you know what I'm saying, hot boy, stuff like that. And like kind of breezing through that energy, you know what I'm saying, to balance things out, but being aware of the difference of, you know, when we're doing things for that balance, and difference between something being like a little acidic, but then something that's just being completely harmful, aka like a certain spirit is trying to gain influence, in a toxic manner over, what I'm saying, what you got going on internally. So, being aware of what you're consuming with your eyes and your ears and your mouth and your nose and your skin, you know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, that whole situation. Cause yeah, with the whole entertainers and stuff like that, you seeing like, how certain energies, are more meant to be a distraction than actually helping, you know what I'm saying? That's why I always had to like, fully express, like when bringing up like Kanye pointers, like, oh, look at Kanye, he talking about this and that. But, at the same time, I'm like, how they say that? Uh, a broke clock could be right at least two times a day. You know what I'm saying? So just because a certain, being might express two things that's right about spirituality doesn't mean that what they're doing and who they are as a whole is beneficial for, what's best for your spirituality. You know what I'm saying? But again, as I'm sharing that, I'm sharing the whole, that perspective of it, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you who you should be watching and not watching, because that then I'd be, you know, tampering into those types of unhealthy vibes. And I'm not here to tell you, exactly who or what, as much as I could share a example of certain energy types, you know what I'm saying? And just like, hey, you got to be aware, you got to discern, you know what I'm saying? But also, again, like being serious about it, you know what I'm saying? Because again, with anything, you don't want to stay stuck in the energy of dealing with something that's harmful to you, because you may stay in it, and it'll be, in essence, it got the energy of it being too late to pull yourself from out of it, or where it's so tough, you know what I'm saying, like you done got so addicted to that level of toxicity or whatever it is, to the point where it's like, again, like it just feels like it's tough to detach yourself, because you once you become, connected with it, then again, externally, you're gonna have like all these things coming at you. You know what I'm saying? You'll get like energetically tired from having to deal with, all those energies coming towards you from all those different, perspectives and stuff like that. So, again, definitely be aware. Any questions before I go? Any questions before I go? Now hold on, Riley Reyes. Don't be a part of the you know don't be vibing on the frequency of that stuff. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Uh, which I trust that you're joking, but like understanding, again, there's an explanation of just how certain people could say certain things that like say for instance, like example of him bringing up like getting land and and teaching people about true spirituality and stuff like that, but then still doing other things or you know again like claiming Christianity in essence. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole little vibe. Like it's like you know what I'm saying? Right about this and right about that, but should I say accurate when it comes to this part of spiritual perspective, accurate when it comes to this part, but that go into the whole little egregor vibes as well. Egregor slash entities or deities, you know what I'm saying? But word. So no questions, no questions. About to end the broadcast. Man, greatly appreciate y'all again, man. Y'all already know. Now it's the vibrate, the only thing that exists. Uh, so in essence, I just kind of peep out like the planetary energies. You know what I'm saying? Like we're dealing with metals and stuff like that. So like I'm aware that silver in essence connects with the moon energy. So I'll work with crystals that in essence help to deal with the subconscious, our emotions, our psychic abilities. Uh but just let's say it was just three characteristics connected with the moon. But like so in essence, make it a thing to like if I'm working with silver, work with a quote unquote moonstone. You know what I'm saying? But again, whenever that balance is necessary, or again like if I'm working with copper, which most crystals are wrapped in copper, so you got the Venus energy, present in most cases. We're working with crystals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, amplifying that connection with, green crystals, you know what I'm saying? Or like copper based crystals like malachites, azurites, turquoise, uh, what you got? Diopside. Yeah, diopside, if I'm not mistaken. You got uh, Eliite or Eliot stone, Eliat. Got chrysocolla, excuse me. But and then you think about, iron, you're dealing with the Mars energy. So if you're wearing something in connection with iron, you know what I'm saying, you could be, working with crystals that help promote that energy. Or, you could be doing like a cross balance situation. Like, all right, you rocking with the silver to bring in the moon energy, and then you want that moon energy to be complemented by, you know, the Jupiter energy. So you wear let's say 10, the metal 10 or whatever, TIN, you know what I'm saying? But that connects with the Jupiter energy. You rocking some silver with some tin energy to balance out the Jupiter and moon connection. You know what I'm saying? But definitely with the metals, like even myself, I got sterling silver on my left hand connecting to the right brain, or the feminine side of things, or that intuitive connection. And then I got the copper rings on the right side connecting with the left brain. You know what I'm saying? Or that more masculine, logical aspect. And of course, the Venus energy is, in essence, more feminine than masculine. But again, that copper still has like a fiery energy or electrical energy to it as well. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so it's like finding those different little balance combinations. Again, working with the gold energy, you're working with the solar energy, the sun energy. You're working with lead. You're working with the Saturn energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like yeah, it is. It is a difference though with the metals as well. Which in essence, like the metals kind of have like that correlation to the crystals themselves, because in essence, certain crystals, again, like have its certain vibrations due to the elements that are in essence metals, because even a bismuth, technically a bismuth crystal is a metal within itself, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, bismuth is straight from the elemental, you know what I'm saying, from the periodic table, you know and bismuth helps to dampen. It almost works like magnesium based crystals. Like bismuth helps to kind of dampen sensitivity. You know what I'm saying, and especially dealing with the solar plexus or the stomach energy, aka Pepto Bismol. With bismuth in it. You know what I'm saying, and uh, when the stomach has a lot of little oversensitivities, that Pepto Bismol helps to tone down that sensitivity, in the stomach and solar plexus area, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, most definitely, there's a difference with the types of metals you're working with as well. You know, again, you got, and I brought up mercury, you know what I'm saying? Actual quicksilver, you know what I'm saying? The element mercury going with the planet Mercury energy, you know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, the different metals, also has, and I mean, again, it just goes without saying, because again, like the crystals themselves, have some of the same elements present in them in these metals, and that's why certain crystals have such a balance effect as well. Like a crystal like Petersite or lapis lazuli, is very popular in essence from it being a well-rounded crystal, aka having like a little bit of different types of not only having different types of elements involved, but in some cases like almost different little crystals within itself, because like lapis lazuli is almost like satellite with pyrite in it, or lazurite with pyrite in it. You know what I'm saying? And it also has calcite. The gray area of lapis is calcite. So you got like different crystals, which means different crystal formations. So you got different formations that's giving off, different energies. You got different elements that's giving off different energies. So that creates like a, more holistic or balanced, vibration when working with these crystals. Like again, like a Petersite or a lapis lazuli, and it also make me think, even though it's not as bright, you won't be able to see it, but this is a unique piece right here. This is rhodonite. No, excuse me, not rhodocrosite. This is rhodocrosite, fluorite, and chalcopyrite all in one crystal. A very unique and rare blend. You know, so because also speaking of different metals, chalcopyrite has iron and copper in it. You know what I'm saying? So the iron and the copper, in essence, is again, like that's the Mars and Venus energy being balanced in one crystal. You know what I'm saying? So allowing for that, if you look into harmonize the Mars and the Venus energy, what I'm saying, chalcopyrite would be a great crystal combination to work with, and technically also the sun energy, and to be real technical, what I'm saying, in some pieces, you may have bits of silver, like traces of silver in it. You might have traces of gold in it. Again, you got the iron and the copper in it. So, you got like four planetary connections in that one, in that one crystal. Yeah, you definitely got to practice, what I'm saying, going without the crystals too. Like I have to create certain days for one out of letting the crystals rest, but then also just from a vibration of, you know, uh, not only allowing for the crystals to rest, but also I was gonna say, yeah, like helping, like maintaining that vibration of, like going without them and to like sense your own energy without any influence of a crystal as well. Which that discussion just came up. Me and somebody was talking about that. It's like like, oh, like people have the extreme, and again, everybody is dealing with, their own filters of their experience. Like somebody may have had a problem with, working with crystals, where the crystals was used to like, in essence, like try to put a quote unquote hex on them, or or they got something against people who use anything to help themselves. Like some people have like a vendetta towards weakness or what they consider to be weakness. So, say for instance, some people may consider it to be weak to work with a crystal. They may feel like, oh, that's weak. I'm a walking crystal. I don't have to use a crystal outside of me to do the, you know, and again, like how the difference is people who don't have a vendetta about it just keep quiet, like what I'm saying, like they keep that opinion to themselves compared to the people who stand on a soapbox about it, is actually bothering them, hence why they even speaking on it, and also subtly trying to like guilt trip or create a situation where they trying to make a person who wears crystals feel bad. I don't had those type of people pop into the comments of the conversation, and not knocking them. Again, like they just sharing things from their filtered experience. Whether they dealt with that energy in a past life or this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Well, a little bit of both, but you know what I'm saying. Like that whole vendetta psychologically is like, all right, you might have something against help, like using something for helping yourself, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a person who had a lot of external abuse problems themselves to the point where, they can't, do too much of anything externally without getting too strong of an addiction for it or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? But, again, to each his own, because I say that like with anything, like the body has the ability to leave all this shit alone, like again, and that's a thing, like selective change, it's like, all right, yeah, the whole body is a crystal, but like say for instance, like, that's only one part, but if you're gonna be that extreme about it, you know what I'm saying, like on some like, oh, nothing external, then stop eating, stop breathing, you know, like stop using your phone, because that's another thing too. Talking about not using crystals, but you're talking to me through a computer that uses liquid crystal display. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like that's what I be liking to peep out, like just how much just be like a projection of our own shit a lot of cases, you know what I'm saying, and like having again, like if everybody just take care of themselves, because nobody could know you like you know. then that just kind of keep everything in its balance. But uh, like yeah, it's like it gets taken to those extremes or whatever. But to again, like to each his own. Because as I sit here, I don't want to knock the person who does feel that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, forget a crystal, this and that. Because I see the balance. Like, you can I mean, again, everything has the ability to become an addiction, even meditation. So it's like finding the ones that are more helpful than harmful. Finding those habits, in essence, that creates spiritual balance and equilibrium, that creates some form of harmony and integrity inside, you know what I'm saying? Like on that level. But, but yeah, you definitely gotta take a break. Yep, and Amber, that's right too. Like the whole crystal dependency thing is like when I see myself swapping out crystals after going through something, I automatically know, like, all right, like that's a red flag. It's like, bro, you just trying to swap out these crystals for a lack of an action that you're taking somewhere else. Like you're needing to get to the root of a certain realization or understand something about yourself, but instead you kind of just playing symptom healing, you know what I'm saying, and trying to again like use the crystal in order to make this change when it's something that you have to do, you know what I'm saying? The crystal not gonna do all of this work for you, you know what I'm saying? And just like any being, imagine being a crystal, and somebody like, all right, yeah, just transmute all of the traumas from all past lives. As a crystal, you only gonna do so much, you know. And if that person keep relying on you to that extreme, all of a sudden, it's like, well, my crystal went. I can't find my mold device no more. Where it went, you know. And again, this is all points to subconscious programming. Because what creates that unhealthy relationship with external situations is because subconsciously, the programming of looking for instant gratification when healing ourselves, the subconscious programming of again like let the external thing just heal me up, like, and that's all I need, you know what I'm saying? Like, where subconscious programming is the, like, again, like awareness of our subconscious and awareness of our mind and how it, aligns us with our experience. Most definitely. All right. Peace, hollow smoke. I know, yeah, you definitely have to bond with the crystals and connect with them, and give thanks, like, give that appreciation, not only first and foremost through your actions, by, making sure they clear, talking to them, connecting with them, but, oh, yeah, you could just say that much, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, like, sharing that gratitude and appreciation for their ability to be great helpers, you know what I'm saying? But most definitely. Because that's why I always have that balance of, like we're talking about crystals, like only talking about them in a manner where I could share something that could really be effective and not just surface level ways of, again, like using a crystal to heal a symptom when the root cause of the situation is due to something subconscious, some type of subconscious energy, some type of trauma that's being overlooked, because you're just, again, like, oh, citrine for abundance, but then deep down, it's like some awareness on some, shadow work, inner child work, or something from your past needs to be, what I'm saying, be worked on, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just like, oh, just getting a piece of citrine to feel more abundant and prosperous, But we're gonna end on that note. We're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Gotta pay attention to the cycles and switch it up. I know when I get to this point, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, much love and appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Stay tapping in. You know, being in that spiritual equilibrium. You know, getting to know yourself to the fullest, being present in our moment. You know what I'm saying? Being present so we not all in our past thoughts, our future thoughts. Staying resilient and consistent with our practices, because in a lot of cases we already got the remedy to the situation. We just, like a lot of cases, not staying consistent and resilient in the practices due to the subconscious programming of looking for instant gratification and not being patient enough to allow for the processes to work through. We all have been there before. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, yeah. But man, greatly appreciate y'all because I know y'all out there holding space. You know what I'm saying? Creating them, creating them waves, shifting the energy. And again, like it sound cliche, but literally, you know what I'm saying? Without you, because again, like the video I made a while back, or many a times I spoke of on it, like we're figments of each other's imagination. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate, the part you play for me is as much as I know you may appreciate the part I play for you. You know what I'm saying? So greatly appreciate it. You already know any and all donations greatly appreciated. All the links are at the bottom of the videos. Uh, share if you feel like the information and insight is hitting on something. Also, I do want to tap in with somebody. I'm getting my videos saved, but also like creating little snippets of some of my long videos. You know, possibly might turn it into a separate channel or just have just a little list, kind of like little shorts, but it being snippets from some of the long videos. So that's something also. But yeah, now it's a vibrate. Y'all know what it is. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now, peace, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.